Do we need to rethink all of our industrial civilization from the ground up, meaning our power lines and our strip centers and our homes and our leases and real estate and cars, factories, manufacturing process, food eating system, the whole thing? It seems like culture and spirituality, music, things like that seems to be the only thing we can get right. I mean, I'm in this parking lot here and I've just picked up like a bunch of litter. I found some bad things that I don't even want to say what they were, but we live in such a disposable society that means everything is like they said in Fight Club. It's like a single serve friend, single serve this. There's a childcare here, Kids Cove drop-in daycare, and I sent my kid there once, and he made a couple friends, and I mean, all this stuff is okay. I'm not totally against it, but it's just, it's not really good either. And all the people in these businesses, these business owners, they make a living doing that. They pay taxes, they drive their car to their office, they pay their lease, pay their taxes, make a little money, and it's survival, but it's poorly organized survival. Like the whole system, if you think about it, the financial system is debt slavery, engineered by the central bank. So all of these guys are victim of that debt trap because all of their expenses are inflating, whereas their profit isn't inflating as fast as the costs of, like, for example, rent. Like there's a pizza place here, this pizza kitchen. I can't really zoom in on this self video, but these poor guys. I mean, this pizza kitchen, it's from the 90s, and in the 90s the rent was probably what, like 90% less, and food costs, and you can't charge people like that. You can't charge the consumer the same amount or a little more to make a profit to keep up with inflation over the years. So what happens, you cut corners, your quality goes down, the bag of potato chips starts shrinking. It's all because of the financial system is engineered failure, and that's why you have bankruptcies. So you run a business model into the ground, and these small businesses are like just running on fumes, and the only reason some of them survive is support from the local community. And COVID really brought a lot of that to the surface, in the sense that it flushed out a lot of those models that weren't working, and it was unfair what they did, but people adapted. People started working from home. People started shifting the way they do things, and so I'm going to go to a different place. But the thought here is really just, are we in a state in the economy where we have to re-engineer ourselves, and are we always in that state? I mean, the world is changing fast and faster every day, but it's been like that for a while, and society hasn't changed so much. It's like the same thing like the human brain. The human brain hasn't really changed in like 100,000 years. I'm talking about genetically, not spiritually or in other ways. The brain, the physical brain. The same thing with society. I mean, the things that, like, whether you look at medicine or construction or food or anything, transportation, the technology is there, but we haven't built it or implemented it. And there's some reasons why. I mean, there's some forces that are stopping that development, clearly, especially like in the energy sector. There's an entrenched interest in the energy sector to keep people putting gasoline in their cars. So there are forces that stop and stifle technology, but nonetheless, it's not stopping. There's a company called Boom Supersonic that's basically relaunching the Concorde, and there's really nothing wrong with the Concorde. It was really a terrorism that destroyed the Concorde. Was it competitors? Someone from the who knows who it was, but it happens when it's Luddites, like it's Luddites and cartels that don't want other technology to compete with them. So there's that. But you've got all these startups. I mean, like Airbnb, for example. The guy from Airbnb was not gunned down by the hotel industry. He started Airbnb, and it really changed how people look at travel and hotels. So it is possible to start something now and today and do something different. And when I look at all these businesses, I just think, these guys work so hard for their money, and it's so tough. And my dad was we had a small business, growing up. We weren't wealthy, but it paid the bills, and we had a good life. And there's a lot of people like that. And the problem is I mean, until you reach escape velocity, until you're like really wealthy, it's not gonna, like, you're just working you're just like, you eat what you kill. You're just working for a living to pay your bills, pay your electricity. You're basically surviving. And so, and it's like dog eat dog, every man for himself. So if we think as a collective, the flaw of communism, it's state controlled. But imagine you have organized capitalism. That means it's business, but it's organized with other businesses instead of just competing with each other. And we can compete against other countries. And there's another thing that I think is really valuable that I'm going to try to launch, which is called low profit. You've got a non-profit, and then you've got high profit. I'm going to try to launch a low profit. That means we're going to make a bunch of money. We're going to take a decent profit for us, but something reasonable, like 1%, 10%, 5%. And then 90%, we're going to build infrastructure. That's a low profit idea. That it's a for-profit corporation, but we're going to take the majority of the money and build stuff. And on that stuff that we build, that extra CapEx that's kind of just out there, we're not going to expect any return on it. We're just building infrastructure. Now, imagine if all these businesses here did that. After 100 years, you'd have massive public infrastructure that wouldn't cost you anything. And that's what these guys are basically, I mean, these guys here in this strip mall are struggling with, is basic infrastructure. They need to pay for electricity, rent, stuff like that. So it's food for thought. But work hard, but not too hard. You want to have a good balance, life balance. Spend time with your family. 4 hours a day is really sufficient. Do what you love. Be passionate. Grow yourself. And may the force be with you. Have a great day.